Hello, my dear students. This is the second part of the research. In my first video, I have discussed the meaning, definitions, characteristics, and objectives of the research. And here in this video, let us understand the importance of research and also types of research. I welcome you all to the video, and myself is Dr. Prajna Mattihalli, Government First Grade College, Dharwad, Karnataka. Let us understand first importance of research. So, my dear students, you may be observing so many people are indulged in doing research. Why hundreds of students are interested in doing research? Why? What is the reason? So let us understand the importance of it. First thing, research guides social and business planning. How to do business planning? Research helps us. Research guides us. For example, if you undertake the research on consumer behavior, you will understand what exactly they want. In such a situation, again, research guides you in business planning, aids in prediction. So, without any basis, if you just predict, it may or may not happen. There will be lesser probability of its success. Otherwise, if you depend upon the research findings, then your prediction will be 100% accurate. Research brings new knowledge. As you know very well, mankind is very much interested in the knowledge. Knowledge is just like ocean. It is abundant. There is no end for the same. So every now and then, every day we want to be updated with the new knowledge. Removal of ignorance. You might have heard the word that asatoma sadgamaya, tamasoma jyotirgamaya. What do you mean by this? Mankind is moving from untruth to truth. So we don't know what is the end truth or what is the end point of the truth. So we are moving towards the truth. That means we are increasing our knowledge. So by removing the ignorance. So ignorance has to be wiped off so that knowledge comes into our mind. So we are moving from darkness to the brightness. So that is we are moving towards the knowledge. Removal of superstitions. If there is ignorance, there will be superstitions. We should not do like this. We should not do like this. If we do like this, we will die. Some superstition belief will be there. How it will be removed? When we know the scientific truth, then the superstition will go off. Analysis of social problems. So there are so many social problems like unemployment, like child marriage, like cursing the widow or ill-treating the widow. So many things are there. So these social problems can be analyzed with the help of research. Satisfaction of intellectual curiosity. See, human being is differentiated from other creatures on the world. We are differentiated from the animals. Why? Because animals have hunger, thirst, and sex. That's all. But we, the human being, we have intellectual part in our growth. We can think, we can imagine. We are having mental power. So this intellectual brain works in human beings. There will be curiosity. There will be several questions. Hundreds of questions will be there. Why it is so? Why our earth is in this shape? Why a day means the only brightness will be there? Why when evening gets ended, when the sun will not be there? Where does he go? why it is so dark and there is no sun. So there are so many intellectual questions in our human brain, and the research gives the answers for the same. Reliable information is provided by research. Scientific study of business and society can be possible. It is possible when there is research. Evaluation of projects and plans are possible when we undertake the research. Efficient marketing management, because when marketing management is to be successful, it should be efficient. We need the information about the market, how the segments are there, how the consumer behave, what is their demand, what is their prediction, what is their expectation. So if you know, if you have research about it, if you have research findings, if you know much more information about the market, then your marketing management gets a success. Human progress is possible with the help of research. Research innovates many more things. It adds to the knowledge. It gives you new light in the field of knowledge. So it helps us. And my dear friends, let us understand the types of research now. Okay. So here we are observing the types of research. Here is the research, and it can be classified on 4 bases. Okay, on 4 bases. And for example, on the basis of purpose, on the basis of purpose, there are 3 types. In the same way, there are 2 types. Then like this, we can have the types of research. Here, on the basis of application, on the basis of comparison, and on the basis of data, it can be classified into several groups. Okay. So let us go with the details of this research and what are the types of it. Okay. And here, on the basis of purpose, that is the first thing. On the basis of purpose, how we are classifying. That is, research is classified into 3: descriptive research, exploratory research, and explanatory research. Descriptive, exploratory, and explanatory. Okay. And on the basis of character of data, that is how the data is, what is its nature, then it may be qualitative research or quantitative research. On the basis of comparison, longitudinal research, comparative research, there are 2 types. And on other types, conceptual versus empirical research, historical research, laboratory research. Let us understand one after the other. First thing was our descriptive. So on the basis of purpose, we have classified the research into 3. That is descriptive research, exploratory research, and explanatory research. Out of this, first one is descriptive research. That means what? It describes and depicts the current state of affairs of different variables. It reports what has happened and what is happening. Best example of descriptive research is Census of India. My dear friends, you may be knowing about the Census of India, how it is being undertaken. As you know very well, once in 10 years, our country conducts the census. That is, the mostly primary school teachers will visit the houses. Every house will be visited, and they will fill the form with the information about the number of members in the home, and our caste, our religion, and income, whether we are educated, that is what is the education, and whether any diseases are there or any death are taken place in the near future, whether our kids are going to school or not, how many of us are employed, what type of employment we are having, what is our income. Like this, information will be collected. So here what happens, this census of India, it describes a wide variety of characteristics of population, such as state-wise and community-wise, sex-wise, literacy-wise, caste-wise, age-wise, and so on. So all such information is collected here in the census. And other examples of descriptive research means RBI bulletin, Reserve Bank of India, which is the central bank for the entire country. This is the banker's bank. So it gives you, it publishes one bulletin wherein it publishes the status of banking progress. What happened about the bank? What is its profitability? How many banks are merged? How many banks are established? And is there any nationalization of banks? Is there any mergers? Is there any progress? And what is the current state of bank? What is their current rate of interest? Like this, many informations are published in that particular bulletin. Or World Bank, you might have heard about it. That is World Bank report. It publishes the report on status of different nations of the world. So these are all the examples of descriptive research. Then comes exploratory. Explorate, find out. That means what? It attempts to gain better understanding of different dimension of the problem. It studies the subject about which either no information or little information is available. Exploratory research is undertaken when there is no information or very little information is available. Researcher has little or no knowledge about the problem or situation under study. It is appropriate for some persistent phenomena like sickness of an industry. Why this industry is sick? What are the reasons for the sickness? And deficiency in education system, corruption prevailing in government departments. In such a situation, there will be less information. And if you undertake the research, you will gather more information about it. It is quite valuable in social research. Then comes explanatory or casual research. Explanatory research is also called as casual research. It explains the causes of social and economic phenomena. Example of this explanatory research is, what are the causes for that is a decline in productivity and profitability of a business? Why it is deteriorating? Why productivity is coming down? Why profitability is coming down? If you undertake the research, it is explanatory. Why and how communal riots take place? What are the causes of industrial backwardness of a state? It aims at establishing a relationship between variables. And now we have understood on the basis of purpose. Now second one is on the basis of application. That is pure or basic research, applied or action research. There are two types. One is pure research, another one is applied research. What do you mean by pure research? It is connected with quest for knowledge and to know about phenomena without concern for its practical application. It is just, it satisfies our wisdom. It gives you the answers, but for the theory's sake, not for practical sake. It aims at enriching the theory by prevailing the untold mysteries of nature. It is conducted to establish new theory or to verify the old theory. Natural science knowledge pursued for its own sake without any direct view to future utility will often lead to results of most unexpected kind and very highest practical importance. Here, practical implication is neglected. We don't bother about it. Whether it can be whether the knowledge can be applied, whether it is useful or not, we are not interested. Just we want to enrich our knowledge, just we want to theoretically benefit it. So we undertake pure research. Applied research means it aims at enriching the application. Here we want to apply it to the society. Here the theory has to be applied by discovering that is valuable new uses to which findings of pursuit research may, pure research may be put, and by showing limitations of these findings. Here we are interested in its application, not about the theory. It helps to solve many complex problems faced by the business and society by using the findings and theories developed by pure research. Pure research is interested in gaining the knowledge, whereas applied research is interested in distributing the knowledge. Here in this table, we are comparing the pure and applied research. We are comparing here. Pure research aims to evolve the theories on the process of revealing the truth. Applied research, it seeks to apply the theories evolved to solve practical problems of business and society. And pure research tries to say why things happen. And applied research tries to say how things can be changed. Pure research seeks generalization, and applied research often studies individual cases without any objective to generalize. And pure research, it works on the assumption that variables not measured remain constant. And applied research recognizes that other variables are constantly changing. Here, variables are being observed as constant in case of pure research. But in case of applied research, it is constantly changing. And in case of pure research, it reports in technical language of the discipline because theory is more important. In applied research, it reports layman's language because it is interested in application. Then let us go to next point, that is qualitative research. So what do you mean by qualitative research? It is concerned with qualitative phenomena which cannot be expressed in terms of quantity. It deals with subjective assessment of attitudes, opinions, and behavior. It uses the technique of depth interview, focus group, and project technique. Example of qualitative research is study on what motivates people to work hard and what makes them lazy. So if you undertake this research, it may lead to the qualitative causes of hard work as challenging job, opportunity to grow, work culture in the organization, monetary incentives. These may be the result of the research. So here you cannot express them in quantities. So they are called as qualitative research. For example, opportunity to grow, challenging job, then work culture in the organization. These may be the result of your study. And quantitative research. Here the word itself says you that it can be termed into quantities. It measures the characteristics numerically expressed such as turnover, profit, income, expenditure, cost, etc. All this can be expressed in quantities. It employs various quantitative and statistical techniques to generate, record, analyze, and interpret the data. Example, how many man days have been lost due to strikes and lockouts in the industry? This can be studied. Then comes longitudinal research. What do you mean by this? It studies variation in the phenomena over a period of time and makes trend analysis. Example of it, prevalence of AIDS among male and female in India over last 10 years. So it studies variation in the phenomena. That is how ups and downs are being observed here. Cost and price of major produce in Maharashtra during 5-year plans. Here, immediately you can understand the variation in the phenomena. That is called as longitudinal research. Another one is comparative research. In this type of research, characteristics of any units, cultural and social groups are studied. Example, comparison of financial health of factories in Karnataka and Maharashtra states. If you compare them, comparative means the word itself says you that just you are comparing two industries, one industry in Maharashtra, one industry in Karnataka. If you are comparing, that is comparative research. Or if you are comparing the marriage systems of Hindu, Muslim, and Christian in Goa state, then that is comparative research. If you are comparing art and culture of tribals and non-tribals, if you are comparing any one tribe with the non-tribal group, then you can compare and study. Comparison of living standards of India, China, and Pakistan. It is also possible. So here we are observing comparative research. And finally, other types, other types means here we are studying not on any one phenomena. Conceptual research, empirical research. What do you mean by conceptual research? It deals with some abstract idea or theory. It is normally used by philosophers to develop new theory. That is conceptual. Here you are concentrating on concept. Then comes empirical. Empirical research is data-based research. It comes out with conclusions on observed data. Example, evidence gathered through experiments or empirical studies is considered to be the most powerful support possible for a given hypothesis. So here you are depending upon the observed data. That means what are the examples for it? What have you observed about the data? Then you will come to the conclusion. That is about the empirical research. Conceptual research means here it deals with abstract theories. So usually philosophers will undertake this. And then comes historical. It is based on historical sources, information such as ancient literature, historical documents, and it will be analyzed and interpret events and phenomena in the past. It uses either traditional method or scientific method. Both are possible here. And finally, we have to understand the laboratory research. The word itself will tell you that it is undertaken in laboratory. It is confined to laboratory experiments. It emphasizes in such research is to control artificially certain independent variables so as to observe the interrelationship between remaining variables which are left uncontrolled. So many scientific research or medicinal research are undertaken in laboratories. And comes now the question, do you think research is very powerful? It's very self-sufficient and you can undertake anything, you can calculate anything. Do you think it's very powerful? No. Research has got its own limitations. That is, first thing, complexity of social data. So usually social data will be complex. You cannot simplify. Problem of interpreting causes and effect relation. So it's very difficult to find out the causes and what is the relationship with the effect. So it's not so easy to interpret the causes and effect. Dynamic nature of social phenomena. So as we have already observed, social data is complex and social phenomena is also very dynamic. It is changing. It is fast growing, fast changing. Problem of maintaining objectivity. Here we have to have some objects and objectives, and we should be very restricted, and we should always follow those objectives. It's very difficult. Then unpredictability. You can't see the future. There is unseen factors there, and anything can be taken. For example, we had planned to undergo the post-graduation course, but suddenly pandemic occurred and it is disturbed. Classes are being disturbed. Exams are being postponed. So it is totally unpredictable, isn't it? Difficulty in verification of inferences. You cannot verify. It's very difficult to verify the inferences, what happens and how it undertakes. Difficulty in use of experimental method. Each and everything cannot be experimented. Difficulty of quantification of variables. All the variables cannot be quantified. They cannot be expressed in numbers. Difficulty in control of variables. So only few variables can be controlled and there are uncontrollable variables also. Limited finance. So who is going to fund for it? Who is going to give the finance for the same? There are less number of agencies funding for the researchers. Only few organizations have kept money aside for undertaking the research. So limited finance is there. Problem of interdisciplinary research. If you are undertaking the research which is closely associated with sociology and also market, then it is interdisciplinary. If it is closely associated with psychology and corporations or companies, then it is again interdisciplinary. So in such a situation, you have to have the knowledge of arts, you have to have the knowledge of science, you have to have the knowledge of commerce, you have to have the knowledge of management. So it is interdisciplinary. It's not so easy. Here we have undertaken the discussions about the research and its implication. So we have understood, and I hope the points are clear. You can refer my earlier video for understanding the research, its meaning, its definition, objectives, etc. And you can understand here in this video types of research and also the limitations. So let us meet with new ideas, with new knowledge and new discussions in my next videos. So I request you to give the feedback for the same. Thank you.